I didn't really know it at the time, but later on I talked to one of the nurses at the University of Chicago. But I said, hey, I'm not one to go to doctors. Had I not gone to the doctor, what do you think would happen? He said, you'd be dead. My name is Jack Moorman. I live in Dyer, Indiana. At the age of 65, I was diagnosed with AML. As I was having various blood tests done on me and my blood counts continued to decrease, it was determined that I needed another test, which was a bone marrow biopsy. And the results came back very quickly, analyzing that I had AML. And he referred me to Dr. Patel. And literally 48 hours later, I'm in front of Dr. Patel. We had a 75-minute conversation. The prognosis was not good for someone my age, 65 and older. 25% chance of surviving this. And that was a devastating impact, on my family. I felt I was in good enough shape to do the hardcore, intensive treatment that they generally give younger folks. And he said, you know what? Yeah, I think you can handle it, but I want to make you aware of one thing. And that's when he told me about the clinical trial and revumenib. Revumenib being the miracle drug. A week after that appointment, and I think I got the last seat in that clinical trial. The mutation that I had that gave me the leukemia was something called a KMT2A translocation. And this revumenib was targeted for my particular subtype. And so it was almost a no-brainer decision to get me in there. Between June 1st and June 8th, my leukemia cells in my bone marrow went from 30% to 82% just in that week. So it was virulent, and it was going to kill me. First course was 28 days, and then there was a rest period in which they did a bone marrow biopsy, and I was in remission after one course. My subtype had a high percent of relapse. Yeah, what do we do about this? You're tolerating this pretty well so far. You can keep going and hope for the best, or we can get you to a stem cell transplant. The guy I matched to, it wasn't available to collect his bone marrow until like October. So what do you do in the interim? You try to maintain the status quo, in remission, which meant that I had to go through additional cycles. So the second cycle, the wheels fell off. It affected my heart. I got gouts, blood in the urine. Things were going sideways. I cleared through that, and then I had a third course. Everything was fine. I stayed in remission this entire time, so I was in good shape for the transplant. They hang 8 bags, look like applesauce, and I asked the doctor, how do these cells know where to go? And it took. And then they gave me more different chemo drugs to prevent what's called graft versus host disease. And some high percentage of people get it. I got it, unfortunately. I got a rash, which is like the simplest, least lethal forms of it. They tackled that with huge doses of prednisone. I feel terrific. I feel just like I did before any of this happened. I really feel blessed that I was able to participate in this clinical trial. It's really saved my life. Fat cancer research saved my father's life like 30 years earlier because he had CML. He was essentially cured with a drug called Gleevec. Two of us in our family that have directly benefited from cancer research. There's so many other people that are in worse situations than I'm. I'd like them to have the chance as well. And if they cut out that cancer research, a lot of people are going to needlessly die, and that would be a shame. It'd be unconscionable.